You're on Short Final, Ireland's aviation podcast from Squawk 7000. Here's Mark Dwyer and Michael Cummin.
Welcome to episode 46. On this week's Short Final, AFTA are chosen as EASA SPO Operator for the Green Rebel Group. The Airbus Beluga XL visits Shannon on a training mission, and Aer Lingus Regional announces another new route from Belfast.
Atlantic Flight Training Academy based in Cork has been chosen as the EASA SPO operator for the Green Rebel Group. The group have acquired a new €1.5 million twin-engine Diamond DA-42 aircraft that will be used to survey thousands of square miles of ocean. The aircraft is registered Echo India Golf Romeo Mike and will be permanently based at Cork Airport and kept at the Weston Aviation hangar. The arrival of the aircraft has resulted in the creation of 15 direct jobs, and there are plans for further job creation over the coming years. Green Rebel Group acquired the aircraft to undertake ecological assessments as part of the planning process for marine renewable energy projects, including offshore wind farms. Under EASA rules, specialised operations refer to any operation other than commercial air transport, where the aircraft is used for specialised activities such as agriculture, construction, photography, observation and patrol, surveying or aerial advertisement. Under the agreement, AFTA will provide flight crew and operational support for these missions.
Ryanair has released their financial records for the fiscal year 2021, showing a loss of €815 million with traffic figures down 81%. The airline had reported a €1 billion profit in the previous financial year. Across the network, the airline carried 27.5 million passengers up to the 31st of March 2021, operating with a 71% load factor. This was down from 148.6 million with a 95% load factor in the previous year. The last year had been the most challenging in Ryanair's 35-year history. Ryanair expects intra-European air travel capacity to be materially lower for the foreseeable future. According to the airline, this will create opportunities for Ryanair to extend airport growth initiatives as the group takes delivery of 210 new Boeing 737-8200s. The rollout of the vaccines and the European Vaccine Passport will help facilitate the resumption of intra-European air travel and tourism this summer. The airline claims that its balance sheet remains one of the strongest in the industry, with a BBB credit rating, with reserves of €3.15 billion cash at the 31st of March and over 85% of the Boeing 737 fleet being unencumbered. The airline expects their passenger numbers across the group to be near the lower end of their previously forecasted 80 to 120 million.
Six West and Ireland-based Technical Flight Solutions have signed an exclusive partnership agreement to meet the EASA regulatory provisions for the conduct of Part NCC and maintenance check flight operations, creating the first fully EASA-compliant organisation structure in Europe for the use of aircraft leasers. The regulations provide a framework for the operation of aircraft undertaking technical flights such as delivery flights, demonstration flights and maintenance check flights, and are now in line with those already applicable to flight operations conducted in a commercial airline or AOC environment. We recently spoke with Donal Young from Technical Flight Solutions on Squawk 7000 podcast about the services they offer and the people behind the company. You can listen to this episode wherever you get your podcasts and on our site squawk7000.ie.
The Irish Air Corps in Baldonnel had an unusual visitor last Tuesday morning from the US Air Force with the arrival of a Boeing C-17 Globemaster. According to a statement released by the Irish Air Corps to Flying in Ireland, the aircraft's visit was on a technicality stop en route to the UK as part of a crew training mission. The aircraft was noted on flight trackers descending off the west coast initially in the direction of Shannon. However, the crew asked for a lower level to cross Ireland. The aircraft descended to around 6,000 feet and flew along the cliffs of Moher, through Galway Bay, taking a northern route to Roscommon, Longford, and then over Mullingar and into Baldonnel. According to ATC recordings, one of the cockpit crew was originally from Longford. The Boeing C-17 landed at around 8:50am and departed at 11:50am, heading across Dublin City and north to Prestwick in Scotland. The call sign used by the flight was SLAM 69 on both the inbound and outbound leg of the flight.
SLAM 69 Heavy, we're going to head over towards Longford and then we will get onto Akigo and then we'll be out of your hair from there over to Casemont.
Yep, SLAM 69, all copy, that's fine. You can route there as you wish.
I'm a native of Longford, Ireland, and so we're just giving everybody out here a little hello from us.
Okay, yeah, well, welcome back. And yeah, you can let me know that whenever you're finished, and as I said, you can deviate as you wish. I have nothing to affect you on there.
All right, thanks very much.
Aer Lingus has announced that it will be permanently closing its Shannon base and will close its Cork Airport base temporarily later this year while the runway works are taking place. Around 80 cabin crew staff will be offered severance or a transfer to the Dublin base. A further 45 ground crew will not return to work. Aer Lingus had previously announced they would close the Shannon base until June, when some flights were expected to resume. The airline staff are currently on 60% of full pay. In a statement to staff, Aer Lingus has said it expects to emerge from the COVID crisis as a smaller operation and there will be a requirement for redundancies. Trade union Forza confirmed that Aer Lingus had told cabin and ground crews at Cork Airport that they would be laid off without pay between September and November. Aer Lingus has lost over €100 million in the first 3 months of this year, following a loss of €361 million last year. IAG, the owners of Aer Lingus, has said recently that they expect traffic from April to June this year to be around 25% of the 2019 levels across their airlines. However, lower levels were expected from Aer Lingus due to the stricter travel restrictions in Ireland.
Dublin Airport received an unusual visitor last Tuesday evening when the Foreign Minister from the Islamic Republic of Iran arrived for a 24-hour visit. Mohammed Javad Zafir and his entourage arrived on an Airbus A321, Echo Papa, India, Golf Delta, from Rome around 8 o'clock. The visit is the third stop on a European tour. The delegation had already visited Madrid for talks with their Spanish counterparts. During the stop in Rome, Mr. Zafir had an audience with the Pope in the Vatican, as well as meeting Italian government officials and business leaders. During the visit to Dublin, the Iranian delegation met with Minister for Foreign Affairs Simon Coveney as part of Ireland's role on the UN Security Council, where Ireland is serving a 2-year term. The delegation from Iran also met with the Taoiseach and President during the short visit. The aircraft was built in 2000 and initially delivered to Monarch Airlines in the UK. It spent 3 years with the airline before going to Livingston Airlines in Italy. Following a period of storage from 2003 until 2005, the aircraft was acquired by Mirage Airlines in Iran on behalf of the government and has been operating diplomatic flights since then and received a new colour scheme in the past year.
Ireland's aviation regulator has announced the establishment of a formal agreement with the Kazakh government to provide aviation regulatory services to Central Asia's largest country. An agreement was also announced where the IAA will provide technical support to the Kazakh CAA. The agreement provides for aircraft operated in one country to be registered on the register of another country, subject to a formal international agreement between the two states and lodged with ICAO. A number of aircraft operated by the Kazakh national carrier, Air Astana, will be transferred to the Irish register over the course of this summer and the remainder of this year. The IAA will review the aircraft and provide certificates of airworthiness, while other aspects of regulatory oversight will be delegated to the Kazakh Civil Aviation Authority.
Aer Lingus Regional has announced a new service from Belfast City Airport to Glasgow starting in July. The route will be operated by Stobart Air using the ATR 72-600. The new service will start on the 1st of July and will be operated at a frequency of 11 times per week initially, increasing to 19 per week in August. The addition of this route will bring to 10 the number of routes from Belfast City Airport on the Aer Lingus network. Stobart Air has called on the UK Government and the Northern Ireland Executive to support the industry and work with all industry stakeholders on a plan and timeline for the resumption of safe air travel. Aer Lingus Regional has already announced new services from George Best Belfast City Airport to Cardiff and Newquay starting on the 28th of June.
Shannon Technical Services has announced it will expand its business by creating an additional 80 jobs and opening a Dublin office. STS currently employs 40 people at its Shannon office, with an additional 20 due to join the company this year, with up to 40 joining the company next year. The additional staff will bring the total employed by the company to 120 by 2023. 57 of the new jobs will be supported by Enterprise Ireland. The company's services include management of aircraft transitions, redeliveries, camo, engine management, and materials and logistics management for global aircraft leasers and the airlines. STS was founded in February 2019, based in the Shannon Free Zone close to Shannon Airport.
Although the high winds and rain may not be pleasant for most people in late May, the Irish weather proved ideal for Airbus to bring their new Beluga XL aircraft to Shannon for some crosswind training. The aircraft, Fox Whiskey Bravo X-Ray Lima, is based on the Airbus A330-200 aircraft, but has an oversized fuselage to enable Airbus to transfer large aircraft components, such as fuselage, wings and tail surfaces between their manufacturing facilities around Europe. The aircraft made its first flight on the 19th of July 2018 and received certification in November 2019. It entered service in January 2020. And 2 more are expected to be operational later this year. The Beluga XL will eventually replace the existing 5 Beluga STs. These were designed from the Airbus A300 And the amount of flying time these aircraft accumulated has doubled between 2014 and 2018 to over 8,000 hours per year. The Beluga XL arrived in Shannon from the company's main base at Toulouse in France, landing shortly before 11 a.m. The aircraft spent 2 hours in the circuit training crew for crosswind landings in the high winds. Following this work, the aircraft then flew on to Newquay in England for further training.
This week, the Cabinet will meet to finalise a restart plan for Irish aviation. Recover Irish Aviation has set out key areas and dates that need to be included in this plan. The group have said that the Irish aviation sector has suffered severe damage due to government inaction, with many jobs lost in Shannon and Cork this week alone. They are calling for immediate steps to be taken by the government, including the immediate harmonisation of rules within the common travel area, urgent discussions with the US to allow fully vaccinated US passengers visit Ireland by the 4th of July, allowing US passengers to enter Ireland with a COVID digital certificate similar to that within the EU. The EU digital COVID certificate must be fully adopted by Ireland on the 1st of July 2021, and the use of rapid antigen testing as used extensively in the US, UK and many other European countries. Their full video is available to watch on the Flying in Ireland website. And finally this week, ASL Aviation Holdings have announced the appointment of Fergus Wilson as ASL Group Fleet and Leasing Director. Fergus has joined the ASL Group from Aer Lingus, where he was Chief Technical Officer. He leaves Aer Lingus following a 42-year career, including being a long-term member of the Aer Lingus executive team. His new role will involve working with the group fleet and engineering teams and with ASL Airlines in Europe and associated airlines in South Africa and Thailand.
Thanks, Mark. You'll find these stories and more on flyinginireland.com. And a reminder that you can also listen to our long final edition, which comes out during the week. We'll be talking to the people behind 6 West and Aircraft Professional Technical Network, APTN. You'll find it wherever you get your podcasts and on our site, squawk7000.ie. Thanks for listening.